Welcome everyone, I am wandering off, and we're currently going through Final Fantasy XI Online. Right now we are currently playing a monk, and we are level 55 at the moment. In the last video we took the time to go do the quest to unlock the level cap from 55 to 60, so now our tune can get to 60. In a video before, we went to Aht Urhgan Whitegate for the very first time. And so, in this video, we are going to go back to Aht Urhgan, and we're going to kind of start the missions in Aht Urhgan. We're only going to be doing a few of them, so they shouldn't take too long. Like here we have Signet. Over there they have what's called Sanctions, and it is a different buff than Signet. It's the same thing, but what it does is it gives us currency for over there. And so we will be going to 1.1. And like I said, I really enjoy the music in this town. I think they chose a very good amount, or a very good music choice. It'll take me a minute because I'm drawing a blank. I think, and like I said, I'm gonna try my best to not get many misclicks in this town. Oh, that's the workshop. Because like many of the NPCs in this town, they start, they just have all sorts of cutscenes, and I'm hoping we can do the cutscenes know when we're ready for them. So that is going to be our goal. All right, so I believe it's this building. Yeah, okay. So let's go over to our guide that we are following and learn a little bit more about this before we just jump in. So if you get to Aht Urhgan Gate, you'll want to come into the wiki, and you'll go over to missions, and like I said, there's tons of them. The one we are looking for is titled Treasures. For some reason I can't get it to highlight. Treasures of Aht Urhgan, and so we'll click that. And category Aht Urhgan missions. Treasures of Aht Urhgan. And then of course gives you the number, the mission name, the type, and the reward. And then it just lists all of them, so you can just see them at a quick glance. We are going to go ahead and click on number 1, Land of Sacred Serpents. And so, Aht Urhgan Mission 1, Land of Sacred Serpents, series Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC is going to be Salaheem at Aht Urhgan Whitegate I-10. Title is going to be none. Repeatable, no. Oh, and I forgot to, sorry, okay, let me just start over because I realized you guys weren't looking at, sorry. Okay, so, now we have our walkthrough, our wiki up. And now, so if you're on the main page, you'll just come over to the missions and you'll want to select the one that is Treasures of Aht Urhgan, which is right here. Category at Aht Urhgan Missions. So Treasures of Aht Urhgan is what this is called. Then again, there's number, there's missions, the mission name, the type, and the reward. And then it has it all listed for us for every single mission that is available. We are going to click on the number 1, which is called the Land of the Sacred Serpents. Aht Urhgan Mission 1, Land of Sacred Serpents. Series Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC, Salaheem, Aht Urhgan Whitegate I-10. Title, none. Repeatable, no. Description, a land of new adventures lies to the east of Mindarsha. What splendors and terrors await the curious? So our previous mission is going to be none because this is the very first one. Next mission, Immortal Sentries. Our rewards for this quest is going to be none. So, the walkthrough. Complete the quest, The Road to Aht Urhgan. And so we did this in a previous video. If you have not done this yet, you won't be able to. You won't be able to come here. So you must complete the Road to Aht Urhgan first. Again, it is a standalone quest. It is not tied into the missions here. It's just its own quest. So you'll want to look that up. Head to Mara and take the boat to Aht Urhgan Whitegate. And so we've done that. And if you choose to pay the 500,000 gil, you do not need to take the boat to start the mission. So we want to approach Salaheem at I-10 to receive the key item supplies package. And then there's plot details and related links, and there's nothing in either of those. So what we want to do, and this is again Aht Urhgan Mission 1, and so we'll go back into our game and we will walk into her little building. It is right here. There's two similar looking buildings. The one that is like when we first get here, it's going to be this one. So that's the easiest way to remember. And then just make sure it says Salaheem Sentinels on the door when you target the door. Open. And when you come inside, you'll see Ab Kuba. And then When you walk in, you'll get a cutscene. Nah, Salaheem, what are you doing standing around here? You're just getting in the way. Can't you see how busy I am? What's your deal anyway? You got business with me? Nope, never seen you before. Your lack of fashion sense, the slack-jawed face, and that slouching posture. You can't possibly be from around these parts. You're a foreigner, aren't you? Um, so what do you say to that? Sorry or perish the thought? Sorry. Hey, I knew it. You're just the type of person I've been looking for. So you came to be a mercenary, did you? Want to be a mercenary? Yep, that's the intent. Nope, no ma'am. So we'll choose, yep, that's the intent. Now you're speaking my language. Your long journey has been worthwhile. We've been waiting for you. Most of our work is official Empire business. In fact, we're the only mercenary organization in all of Zabi that the royal family puts its trust in. We're the best of the best, the cream of the crop. But you won't get any lucrative offers just finishing up grunt work. So don't go thinking you can slack off. Now, do you get it? First, you gotta show me what you're made of. So, Naja hands you a supplies package. There's a prominent organization in this nation called the Immortals. Ever heard of them? Mothers here use stories of the Immortals to scare their kittens into eating their vegetables. The Immortals are the Empress's personal bodyguards, and they only hire the best of the best blue mages around. Common folk like us aren't even allowed a glimpse of Her Royal Highness. But the Immortals, they're different. They have special permission to attend to the Empress at close quarters. Is this sinking into that thick skull of yours? In other words, you can't get anywhere in this nation without going through the Immortals first. So before you do anything else, I need you to go deliver this supplies package and make yourself known. If you manage to make it back alive, we can start thinking about what to do with you. The Immortals guard the Empress, ensure the safety of Alzabi, and manage affairs dealing with assault. Each assault warden is stationed at a staging point on the Ilruzi Atali, Divuka Isle, Halvung, in the domain of the Malmolja, or on Azopo Isle. No matter how high and mighty the Immortals are, I'm sure they're tired of being stuck out in the middle of nowhere with nothing to do. They'll probably be glad to see you. Go deliver the supplies package and let them know who you are. After that, we can start talking about your contract. Alright, so now we have obtained a supplies package. E-item. Supplies package. Examine supplies package. bronze box entrusted to you by Naja Salaheem. It is sealed with animal glue so you cannot see what it contains. You can hear something soft rolling around inside when you shake the box. Alrighty then, so that is the very first mission when you come here to Aht Urhgan. So now we need to figure out what we need to do. So after you have gotten that out of that cutscene, that means you have completed the very first mission. So we'll click on the next mission, Immortal Sentries, and this is going to be Aht Urhgan Mission 2, and let's just make sure it's Immortal Sentries series, Treasures of Aht Urhgan, starting NPC, Naha Salaheem, Aht Urhgan Whitegate -I-10, title Private Second Class, repeatable, no. So description: deliver a package to one of the immortals found at the staging points, and Naha will consider you for a mercenary contract. So our previous mission was Land of Sacred Serpents, and the next mission will be President Salaheem. And our rewards for this will be a PCS Wildcat badge and 150. Really? I wish my mouse would work. 150 Imperial standings, Mog Locker access, and sanction. And so, walk through. So take the supplies package to any of the staging points, with the exception of Nizul Isle staging point, and talk to the NPCs stationed there to complete delivery. So visit the staging points page and click on one of the runic portal names for details and steps on reaching one of these locations. You will eventually want them all, so pick any of them. Use the runic portal at the staging point to return to Aht Urhgan Whitegate. Speak to Naha Salaheem when you're done. So now we want to open this page that says staging points, and it's going to bring up so staging points. Staging points are used to keep surveillance on assault areas. There are several in the areas of West Aht Urhgan. Staging points are one of the greatest additions to Final Fantasy XI. It provided not only a safer enclosed outpost structure, but also the fastest transportation between the 5 regions of West Aht Urhgan in the form of runic portals. So finding and using staging points. The following section will outline the location of each staging point. Please visit the appropriate pages for detailed directions on how to get to each staging point. So, this is a zone which Darva Mire, Full Thickets, Mount Zalem, Darva Mire, Rapigo Reef, Alzadel Undersea Ruins, and Aht Urhgan Whitegate. So this is going to be simple directions. This is going to be east of Nashmayo. This is going to be west of Mammoth. northern part of the map, west of Nashmeo, north of Abrago Reef. Enter from Flue Thickets, and the last one opposite from Commission Agency. And I know I should have just read them this way, but oh well. Runic portal name. So there's the Azov Isle staging point, the Mammal Jaw staging point, Alvung staging point, Divaka Isle staging point, Ilresi Atal staging point, Nizul Isle staging point, Chamber of Passage, and then there's the position. So it's located at K9, H11, K6, I9, G5, J8, and LT. And so these are each of the staging points. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's 7 of them. It is best to get them all. For now, we just want to do one so we can continue on our mission. The one I kind of know how to get to is the Halvung staging point, which is in Mount Zalem, the northern part of the map. So we're just going to click on Halvung staging point, and it's going to bring us to Halvung staging point, one of 6 staging points used to gain access to runic portals for completing assault missions. This zone is contained inside of Mount Zalem. This is where the Libros Cavern assault missions are done. So then it gives you a little content. You can hide it if you don't want to see it. It gives us 1 is the directions, 2 is maps for how long staging point, 3 involved in missions, and 4 notes. So directions: exit to Baflu Thickets from Alzabi, go to F8 and enter and zone into Halvung. Escape to Mount Zalem if possible. If not possible, head southwest, turn north. After you cross the bridge, turn south to zone to Mount Zalem. In Mount Zalem, head north and take a left at L6. Stick to the right wall and to arrive. And then it gives us the maps for Halvung staging point. Of course, it doesn't like bring them up like in the other pages how it was. So I actually have to click on them individually. So and then involved in missions, and we're not going through all of this as nothing pertaining to what we're doing right now. Later on we might refer back to this page and see what that is about, but for now this is all we care about is directions. And so we will go back into our game and we will walk our way out of here so we can try to find that staging point. For this, you will definitely want to make sure that you have some prism powder and silent oil. That is just because you're going to need it. We're going to go to, you can choose any one of them on the list. There's one they say you can't choose, so don't go to that one. And I think it's because we don't have, there's certain coins that you collect in this area and I think you either need 1 or 3 coins, and since you won't have those coins just yet, you won't be able to get there, and so that's the reason you are not going to be able to do it. I think it's probably the closest one, but because of that factor, you don't have the coins to do it. So anyway, now there's 2 parts. There's Aht Urhgan White Gate, and then there's Al Zabi, and so over here we are in Al Zabi. Over there we are in White Gate. So there's 2 different maps, and they're 2 different places. So keep that in mind. And when you're going to exit, you can exit into the Wajum woodlands, or you can exit in the to the Baflu thickets. So you want to make sure that you're exiting. For us, we want to take the Baflu thickets, so when we get into this room, we're going to go up and out. If we're going to the woodlands, we'll go straight. So those are things to pay attention to. And so if you're trying to find something, like say you're over here and like you're trying to find something at G9, for example, make sure that if you're supposed to be in the White Gate map, make sure that you are. And we need to go up. Make sure you're at Aht Urhgan White Gate and not in Al Zabi, because they are 2 different places. So if you try to go to here to find G9 and there's nothing there, then there's a reason. It's because you're in the wrong map. So all right, so now we're going to jump on our mount, and we need to get from here. We want to go to F8 and zone in. So F8 is going to be, here's F, so 8 is going to be right here, I think. So then you just walk up. Like I say, this is the area we want to come to get from 55 to 60. We can get there rather quick. But we also want to be able to earn the currency. At night, formers do come out here, and so you want to pay attention to that, and ghosts also. So you will want to keep an eye on that. But in the daytime, I don't know where I'm going, so it's gonna take us a bit of time. For this mission, you only need to do 1 of the staging points. Eventually you'll want all of them. That is something you really... Those 2 were walking in sync with each other. like directly in sync, if you notice that. Right, so in some of these places there's a guard standing. Wow. Check. Huh. Sorry. That looks pretty neat. Huh. They did a good job with his armor, I think, anyway. I'm just hoping we don't make him mad at us and have to fight him right now. Okay, so now we're in Helvung, or Halvung, and we're going to pull our trusts out. Not that it would help us in here. But we're going to pull them out anyway. And then let us see. And there might, I think there's a, yeah, there's a survival guide here. And all right, so let's check our map. So this is Halvung, and our goal, I think we can come out of this exit. So I think we can go down, up, over, and then exit. But I'm not sure if we can do that, if we have to go down here and exit. So we're gonna try this one because it is the absolute closest exit out of here. But we may have to come back in and then go around. And we will want our silent, and we will want our prism. And then we will want to cross our fingers as we go through this zone. Like I say, when I did this the first time, I had a friend that I just followed, so I didn't have to really try to figure it out on my own. I mean, it's very nice to have somebody guide you, but it's also nice to actually know where you need to go. So we don't want to wake the sleeping dudes. We just want them to stay slumbered. And then I think we go up. In here you can't ride your mount. So you really do want to be careful. And I'm just hoping we can exit here without any issues and get to where we need to go, but if not, we'll be coming back in here. So we need to and We'll go down here. And I believe we'll come out the exit. Yeah. And then once we have exited that, we can mount there. And so now we're on the other side. We're actually in Mount Zalem. We're just gonna come out here. We're gonna go over here around, and we're gonna go straight up to here, and that's where we're needing to go. So and you know, the one good thing about this is the game was very lenient when it came to mounts. If you know, all you had to do is get the chocobo license, and then you can ride your mount anywhere. It's not like they had, because they could have went ahead and made it to like, oh, you want to go to this area, well, you have to learn a new um get a new license for this area to ride a mount. You know. All right, so um I wouldn't recommend trying to fight these for your first visit through here. They'll probably kick your ass. And that's just being polite about it. So all we do is come straight up here, and there are bombs right here, and there are bombs here. Then you want to come to this door, and you hope those bombs don't aggro to you while you're trying to get to the door. Albung staging point. This gate guards an area under Imperial control. Enter the gate. So we'll say yes. And we're going to go ahead and take the time to see how we can get to all the staging points, but that will be at a later time. And I mean, we're gonna, you know, actually open them up and do them and learn about how we get there, but those will be different times. This is going to be Wadeen, and so we'll talk to them. What brings you here? This is the Halvung staging point. From here, we keep close surveillance on lands that are of strategic. And whose messenger would you be? Show him your supplies package. I am no one's messenger, and yes. You show the supplies package to the Immortal. Wadeen's staunch expression begins to soften. You brought a supplies package for me? Well, why didn't you say so sooner? This supplies package was created from the oil of a berry that can only be found in the nation of Zwa. To the far south, it takes days to extract the oil, and the freight fragrance it gives off is simply indescribable. Here we are, so used to the stench of fighting and pain. This oil will be indispensable if I ever should have the fortune to meet with the Empress again. Oh, I must thank you for bringing this supplies package to me. Will a bit of information do? Allow me to explain about the glowing blue device behind you. That is a runic portal. It has the power to carry you to a distant location. I'm not precisely sure how it works, but it is one of the many curious magical creations of the alchemists in the royal court. All speculation aside, however, the device is quite convenient. You should give it a try. You are certain to be amazed when you arrive in Al-Zabi in the blink of an eye. In addition, you will be able to use the device from Al-Zabi after traveling once from here. I highly advise making use of it when you have urgent business here at the Halbang staging point. And you hand over the supplies package to the Immortal. Your imperial standing has increased. And now we're going to come over to the runic portal. Attuning yourself to this runic portal will open a path to the chamber of passage. Use this device, so yes. And each staging point has one of these, so you want to. And that's why you want to find the staging points, is so you can get this. And now we're back in Urhgan. And that is the finish of and this is what the chamber of passage looks like. You just come up here, and you cannot use runic portals without the Empire's authorization. So for now we can't do anything because we still have to do a few things. Okay, so once we've used the runic portal, we get back here and then we actually go speak to Naha, and so I don't know if it's pronounced Naha or Naja, and sometimes I'll pronounce it one way or the other. But I like this. I like her name is Naja. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly. But so sometimes I'll say it one way and sometimes I'll say it the other. So really, there we go. Now we're gonna come in here, and I'm making certain that I don't have okay, anything else up. So now we're going to come and talk to her. Oh ho, you made it back in one piece. I figured you'd be chopped liver by now. Heh, sorry about that. I'm sure it was a walk in the park for an adventurer like you. What'd you say your name was again, kid? Judging by your skills, you gotta be pretty famous, right? Well, what are you waiting for? Give me your name. Give her your name? Guess it wouldn't hurt, or no way. So we're gonna choose guess it wouldn't hurt. Wandering. Rar. That name just screams power. How do you spell that anyway? You foreigners' names are a real headache. You're gonna have to write that one down for me. Wandering writes her name down on a sheet of parchment. Wandering, is it? My, what an interesting name. I vow, through rain and through wind, running not from storms of arrows and fearing not blasts of magic, to defend in times of beastmen attacks and to venture out in times of peace. Let's see here. In sickness and in health, through curses and petrification, I pledge myself to Salaheem's sentinels for all eternity. Hee hee. Signed, Wandering. Yes, yes, brilliantly worded, as always. She uses a cheap trick, doesn't she? Anyway, I now pronounce you an official employee of Salaheem's Sentinels. Congratulations. Welcome to the world of being a private second class. You're gonna love working under me. I have plenty to keep you busy. Well, what are you grumbling about now? You don't like second class being part of your title? Tough luck. I don't care how spoiled you were in the West, whether you were a knight or musketeer or wizard, don't mean a thing to me. But you better not forget that you're a mercenary now and a rookie at that. If you got a problem with that, then participate in assault missions or do whatever you need to prove you've got what it takes. Come to mention it, I don't think I've said anything about assault yet. Let's start with the basics, shall we? First, you need to get your tail over to the commission's agency. That's an order. I'll let them know you're coming, so they should let you see a list of work available. Pick whichever one you think you can handle. Don't forget, you're still a fresh recruit. The important thing for you to do is choose a job you can accomplish successfully so we can make a profit. Got it? Now don't just stand there with your mouth hanging open. get your tail over to the commission's agency pronto. Alright, so now we have obtained the PSC Wildcat badge, and you now have access to a Mog Locker. So, key items. It must be... I'm not sure where this... Not sure where they put the... Oh, there it is. So it is in the temporary PSC Wildcat badge. Examine PSC Wildcat badge. A bronze private second class mercenary badge from Salaheem Sentinels. A scintillant moat carp is in it emblazoned in its center. Okay, then we're going to so if we're correct, that finished mission 2 for Aht Urhgan Mission 2. So that was Aht Urhgan Mission 2 that we just completed, Immortal Sentries. And so we are going to go to the next mission, which is going to be President Salaheem. So we'll click that. And then Aht Urhgan Mission 3, President Salaheem series. So Treasures of Aht Urhgan, starting NPC, Naha Salaheem, Aht Urhgan Whitegate I-10. Title: None. Repeatable: No. Description: you have become an employee of Salaheem's Sentinels. Becoming a mercenary is not quite what you expected. Previous mission was Immortal Sentries, and next mission, Knight of Gold. So, rewards: assault access, and our walkthrough. So, note this mission begins immediately after the previous cutscene. Zone and speak to Naha Salaheem twice for 2 cutscenes to finish this mission and immediately begin the next. So optional is to speak to Rytel K10 for an explanation on assault, and also optional is speak to Viburnum F11 regarding Mog Locker upgrades, administration, and accessibility. Trust Abquaba. So if you have completed ROV mission 2-7 ever forward, you may speak to Abquaba after this mission to receive his trust cipher. Okay, so what we want to do is we need to zone out. So we're going to run to our Mog house. So we will let us see. We can do this optional stuff right now. So Raytel at K10 and for Burn at F11. So K10 is going to be, I think K10 is this way. Yeah, K10 is going to be the assault. I think it's in the commission agency, so K9. Yeah, commission agency. So we'll come and talk to Raytel, which is the person that it's in the middle here. And welcome to the commission's agency. You have completed mercenary registration procedures. One moment, please. I have you registered as wandering under Salaheem's sentinels. Your paperwork appears to be in order. I shall now give you an explanation of assault, the main type of work we have available here at the Commission's agency. Assault is the name given to a series of missions being conducted by the Imperial Army in the heart of the enemy territory. Our function is to commission mercenaries with these missions as set forth by the Empire. To participate in an assault mission, you must first obtain an Imperial Army ID tag. The Imperial Army ID tag will identify you as a legitimate assault participant. The personnel at this counter will provide you with an Imperial Army ID tag, but please be aware that only one can be issued every day Earth time, and we are only able to hold up to 3 for you. Mercenaries that have a confirmed mission will not be issued an Imperial ID tag, Army ID tag. To once again become eligible to receive an Imperial Army ID tag, please report to this counter after completing an assault mission. Next, I shall explain how to sign up for an assault mission. You will see a number of counters here to your left. Each of these counters is responsible for a particular assault area. The personnel at these counters will give you a detailed explanation of the available assault missions. However, you will only be able to undertake assault missions that correspond to your mercenary rank. The Commission's agency is prohibited by Imperial law from disclosing mission information to persons without the proper level of clearance. After selecting a mission, present your Imperial Army ID tag for verification. Assault missions are only open to mercenaries of level 50 or above. Please be sure your job is of the appropriate level before signing up. This concludes the explanation for assault participation. Next, I will list some points to remember when beginning an assault mission. Assault missions have a minimum member requirement. This figure represents the number of party members who must be present in order to begin the mission. Please form a party with a sufficient number of members who have all signed up for the same assault mission. After forming a party, make your way to the mission staging point located at the entrance to the applicable assault area. To facilitate a speedy journey to the staging point, I would suggest utilizing the runic portal within the chamber of passage located opposite this building. Please be aware that in order to utilize the runic portal from the chamber of passage, you must first attune yourself to the runic portal found at the staging point in question. Under normal circumstances, use of the runic portal will deplete your imperial standing. However, persons in possession of assault orders are exempt from this charge. Upon arriving at the staging point, a representative from your assault party should speak to the immortal on duty to receive verification of command. The verified representative should then activate the runic seal at the entrance to begin the assault mission. This concludes the basics for beginning an assault mission. Next, we will cover the main points to consider during the mission itself. When an assault mission begins, you will be transported to an area where the level of enemies is based on the highest level member of your party. It is also possible to accept a voluntary level restriction during assault. In this case, your party will be sent to an area based upon the adjusted level limit. Once you have arrived in the area, the time limit for the mission will be announced. If you do not complete the mission objectives within this time, the mission will be considered a failure. To successfully complete a mission, it is necessary to activate the rune of release that appears after the mission objectives have been fulfilled. It is possible to abandon a mission and be transported out of the assault area by using homing fireflies to guide you. Naturally, the mission will be considered a failure in this case. Before being transported to the assault area, all party members will be issued with homing fireflies. Homing fireflies are temporary items that cannot be taken out of an assault area. Other temporary items will also be available during assault missions. This concludes the assault mission explanation. Lastly, I will give you an overview of the rewards available upon successfully completing an assault mission. After successfully completing an assault mission, the Empire will award you with assault points. These points are only awarded for participation in assault missions and are accumulated separately for each assault area. Each area has specific items available that can be purchased in exchange for assault points. You can check your assault point totals and purchase items from the counters to your left. Thank you for visiting the Commissions Agency. Please do not hesitate to ask me any questions you may have concerning the assault missions application procedure. And so, again, that's optional, but we are wanting to do everything, and read everything, so that's why we are doing it. The next optional is speak to Fubrun F11 regarding Mog Locker. So F11, I believe that's over by our Mog house. So it's going to be, yeah. So yeah, now we can just get a telepoint or home point to our Mog house. And I don't know if using a home point from one home point to another counts as zoning out. If it does, that's great. I'm not sure though if it does. Okay, here is the person we're looking for. For Broom. Oops. And this is the Center for Mod Locker Administration and Explanation. How may I help you? How may I help you? Wait, this isn't the auction house? And so if you choose that one, he won't say anything to you. So Mod Locker Administration. Your current Mod Locker lease is valid until 2021 219 33658 Earth time. If you wish to extend your lease, please pay the fee of 1 Imperial Bronze piece. These extensions are valid for a period of 175 days, 7 Earth days. If you allow your lease to expire, you will lose access to the items stored within your Mod Locker. Please be assured that these items will not be permanently lost or confiscated. Regaining access to the items in your Mod Locker simply requires you to pay the fee of 1 Imperial Bronze piece. It is also possible to pay this fee to the Mogul in your Mog House. Alright? And then, Mog Locker expansion. Your Mog Locker can currently hold 30 items. Your Mog Locker can be expanded to hold 40 items for a fee of 4 Imperial Mithril pieces. Okay. Really? Pick the... Thank you. Keeps picking somebody else. Huh. Mog Locker accessibility. Your Mog Locker is currently available for use in Azabi only. It is possible to extend the availability of your Mog Locker to include the nations of Sandioria, Bastok, Windurst, and Wayno. If you choose this option, however, the lease expansion granted for the fee of 1 Imperial Bronze piece will be reduced from 175 days Earth time 7 days to 125 days Earth time 5 days. Furthermore, the remaining time on your current lease will be reduced to 5/7. It is possible to once again restrict the availability of your Mog Locker to Alzabi. However, the remaining time on your current lease will not be extended. The lease period will revert to the usual length starting from the following lease payment. So increased Mog Locker availability. Sure, because we're not always here. Your Mog Locker is now available in the nations of Sandioria, Bastok, Windurst, and Wayno. Accordingly, your lease is now valid until 2021 219 325 17 Earth time. Alright, and then and that is all he has to say to us. Yeah. So, now we're going to go to our Mog House, so we can zone, because like I said, I'm not sure, if using the home point counts as actually zoning or not. So I do know for a fact that if you come in your Mog house, then you'll leave it, and this is the Mog house here. That it counts as zoning. And so now we can go talk to Naha or Naja. I don't know. I have so after we zone, we go and speak to Naja Salaheem twice. Okay, that was sorry. That was something. Okay, I'm back. So we're going to go find her again. And it's kind of irritating how you need a zone for some of these quests, because like the closest one is the Molly house, but it's still a distance away. But anyway, so we will end up talking to her 2 times this time. And see what she has to say. And I've got to make sure that our game, that our game is on the screen and not our walkthrough. Alright, so now we talk to her. I forgot to mention to you about Mog Lockers. Seeing as we're so concerned for the welfare of our employees, we offer a Mog Locker service to each mercenary for their own personal use. We know how much of a hassle it can be carrying around all your equipment and materials with you while you're trying to do your job. Of course, you gotta turn out your own pockets for it. You're gonna have to talk to Fabrun in Stone Serpent Square if you want details on how to use a Mog Locker. Get it? Got it? Good. Now get to work. That's an order. Right? And so we did that already. And then we talked to her again. Ho ho, well, if it isn't wandering, how you been? Getting used to the way things are done around here? You're in luck, 'cause I happen to be in a pretty good mood today. Our profits have been starting to look up since you joined us. Maybe you brought some luck, traveler. I've also got this persistent feeling something good is gonna happen today. I have returned. Oh, it's him. It's about time. What the hell took you so long? Did you deliver a supplies package to every blasted member of the Immortals? How dare you? Oh, but surely you didn't get lost on the way or get your supplies package stolen or anything like that, and now did you? Wouldn't make a difference even if you were the Sandorian Temple Knights. You will call me Ralithal. Oh, that was your name. You'll have to forgive me. These damn foreign names are so hard to remember. You're gonna have to write that one down before I forget you completely, Sir Knight. You would do well to remember. Lend me that sheet of parchment. You gotta be pulling my tail. How in blazes do you read this? Relefan? You pronounce it like really fun or something? That is no N. The last letter in is an L. I tell you, an L. You have a really weird sense of humor, Sir Riffin, but I'm afraid you won't get any chuckles that way in Aht Urhgan. Our comedy is much more sophisticated than your nation's, obviously. But whatever. You've accomplished your task, which means you finally made it into the Salaheem Sentinels. At least that's what that says something for you. Well then, Riffle, welcome to the world of private second class. You better prepare yourself for the jobs I'm going to give you. Second class? Wandering. Don't just stand there with your head in the clouds. Be a good role model and drum some mercenary spirit into this gentleman. Everything should be just peachy now, right? Riffle. Hey you, private second class. My name is pronounced Fall. Fall. It's not that difficult. You must learn to address me with respect. Hey, Riffle. Wake up and smell the roses. Just who do you think you are anyway? A prince? Most certainly not. All right, then clean your ears out and listen up close. This is my board and you are my pawns. You're expandable and easily replaceable. I can stand that this absurdity no longer. Adventurer, do you find no fault with Naja's foul attitude? She thinks she is a queen, but she is most certainly not. Obviously, you don't know beans about being a mercenary. Get out there in the mud with the boys and do your job. And next thing, you could be rolling in Gil instead. I have no room here for sniveling bellyachers. Find something better to do with your time than grumble and moan. Wandering. Drag this puck-brained adventurer to the commission's agency and have him sent off on the most hazardous task they can dig up. I refuse. I need no escort. In addition, I must attend a previous engagement. I will venture to the agency on my own time. You, good for nothing, mutton-headed son of a troll, and I was in a good mood too. Wondering if I were you, I'd curse the luck that brought you here. Go and don't let that clot out of your sight. And that is our cue to run away. So that finishes our mission for Aht Urhgan 3. Okay, so this mission, the next mission, we're gonna go ahead and do it because it's really simple and so let's pull up our nifty walkthrough that we are following. And so the mission that we just completed is Aht Urhgan Mission 3, President Salaheem. And the next mission we are going to go to is called Night of Gold. So we'll click on Night of Gold. And this is going to be Aht Urhgan Mission 4. Night of Gold series, Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC is going to be Naja Salaheem, Aht Urhgan, Whitegate I-10. Title is none. Repeatable is no. Description: Bring Ralphos back to Salaheem's sentinels and help teach him the proper attitude for a mercenary. So the previous mission again was President Salaheem. The next mission will be Confessions of Royalty. Our rewards for this particular mission is going to be Ralph's letter, key item. And so, notes. This mission begins immediately after the previous cutscene. So walkthrough. Speak to Kakaroon G11 for a cutscene. Trade Kakaroon 1000 gil or 1 Imperial bronze piece for another cutscene. Enter the Walhara Temple K8 for another cutscene. Head to the Sharati House K12 for another cutscene. Then answer the questions to complete the quest. And the correct answer for question 3 is a Sandiorian prince. The correct answer for question 4 is Prince Tryon. And then it doesn't have anything for the plot details or related links. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So this is going to be Aht Urhgan Mission 4. Make sure we go back into our game. And we are looking for Kakaron at G11. So G11. Yeah, is right here. And make sure that we have 1,000 gil in our, because we don't have any currency on us. The coins that they're talking about. So we want to make sure we have 1,000 gil. And so Cacron is in this little booth right here. And so we'll talk to him. Cacron got cheap info. Yeah, you got big gil. Cacron got big info. Yo, looking for something? Yo, need big info? Ho run. Mercenary lady, look for Elvin with shiny armor? Oh, maybe Cochran see him. Maybe Cochran not see him. Mercenary lady, Cochran like things that go clink clink, yeah. Do you have an Imperial bronze piece? Sure, not on me. So, not on me. Because we don't. No, well, Cochran, like other types of clink clink. Do you have 1,000 gil? Not for you, or I guess. Oh, Ron, trade. You trade to Cochran, yeah? Cheap info. Cochran only need 1,000 gil, yeah? So, then we open trade with him. And, oops, we go up to the gil and we put 1,000 gil in there. And then we say okay. Cacron loved sound of clink clink, yeah. Now mercenary lady, here big info. Is that shiny armor Elvin? Ah, you are the adventurer I met in Salaheem's Sentinels. Surely you did not track me down at the behest of that foul-mouthed feline. Or perhaps you are here in search of information as well. Well, the particulars are not important. What matters is that we are both foreigners here. Have you not noticed anything suspicious about this place? They recruit mercenaries with what approaches desperation and are sounded by fiends more bloodthirsty than the most savage orc. And yet this grand empire has such a small standing army. The more I investigate, the more I encounter the strangest things. Strange? Yo, want to hear strange? Oh, Ron. Cacron knows something strange. What's this? Well, out with it then. Shiny Elvin is scary, but is okay. Everyone here know this strange thing. Cacron will tell yo without clink clink. Yo, no forget this, forget kind Cacaron. Yeah, most strange thing in Alzabi is the astral cadences. All who come to Alzabi want to see this thing, yeah. Astral Cadences. Yeah, Astral Cadences. Shiny Elvin not know that big info yet? Yo, and shiny Elvin and our mercenaries, yeah? Yo, new to Alzavi. I have heard of this object. An acquaintance of mine made some mention. Ho Ron. It is spinning, always spinning. Very pretty, yeah? This warrants further investigation. Shiny Elvin. Yo, no, forget kind Cacron. You'll learn big info from Cacron next time you bring Clink Clink. Very shiny, yeah? Cacron will never forget shiny Elvin. Shiny Elvin will come back to Cacron with Clink Clink. Don't get your hopes up. Alright, so now, after all of that, we need to go to the Walahara Temple at K8. And so that's going to be up here. So we'll just take the home point there. So this is Nedi. Welcome to Lara Temple. Our doors are always open to those seeking knowledge. And why might a mercenary find herself in this place of peace? What is this? You wish to obtain permission to gaze upon the astral cadences within the Hall of Binding? I applaud your scholarly curiosity, and I would assist you in this endeavor if I could. However, I must regret to inform you that the entry into the hall is forbidden by the Serpent generals for all but the servants of Walahara. Even the Empress herself is not above this law. I am afraid I cannot help you. I grow weary of these refusals. Oh dear, oh dear. My good former knight, I have forsaken my knightly vows and joined the mercenary ranks. But that is beside the point. There is something I would ask you, servant of Walahara. I will endeavor to answer any question should it be within my power. Is not the Walahara philosophy from the void of all things are born, to the void all things return, purported to be the fundamental tenet of existence? Yes, this is so. Then, if all things eventually return to the void, would it matter if that process was accelerated? Sir Ralefal, that is not the intended meaning. Sage Walla Lara, our founder, built his philosophy around the unavoidable destiny that is of all of creation shares. Then I would ask you, does the astral cadences interfere with this destiny of which you speak? I shall speak plainly. My reason for answering the Empire's call for mercenaries is simple, simply to help stop this conflict and bring peace to the land. However, the direct cause of the conflict lies in the very object that the servants of Walahura go to such great lengths to protect. I wonder if the treasure held by the city is even the object in question. How is it that the great majority of Al-Zabi's citizens know not of this? Your questions are doubts, and doubts are justified. However, even the servants of Walahura do not entirely understand the nature of the astral cadences. You still pleading ignorance? Very well, but heed my words, servant of Walahura. If you keep to your current path, an even greater conflict awaits to engulf you. Do not think that I, Ralphal, will stand by in quiet acquiescence. Acquiescence. I occasionally become the target of frustrated questioning by unbelievers. I feel my inadequacy most keenly when I fail to help a soul understand the teachings of Walahura. Such trials are part of my never-ending lessons on life. In fact, there was another who came to the temple quite recently, a Ugudo monk. He was possessed of a much gentler mien than the Golden Knight, but his questions were much the same. No matter their agenda, the servants of this temple are always ready to welcome those who express an interest in the teachings of Walahura. Sage Walahura once said, I alone do not possess all the answers. Let us ponder the mysteries of the universe together. Shared knowledge is the shortest path to enlightenment. You have come all the way to the capital of a distant nation. Perhaps you should take the opportunity to share your thoughts with others. I am certain you will find the practice beneficial. I seem to recall talk of the Shararat Tea House becoming a popular gathering place for visitors to Al-Zabi. Why not start your path to enlightenment there? Alright, and then we exit, and now we go to the tea house. Yeah, so head to the tea house at K12 for another cutscene. The tea house is up here, so you just want to make sure we're going the right way. And then we will get a cutscene. I do not understand. Those curs of Wallara, it was just as you described. They did nothing but mock my queries. What am I to do, Gesho? Sir Relifal, I have acquired some information. The Astral Wind. I hear these words often on the lips of the Alzabi citizens. The Astral Wind. Yes, this is the name given to the ethereal breeze that stirs the air around the astral cadences. The wind arises whenever the astral cadence is set within its plinth, creating a sweet melody of unearthly timbre. Your description makes this treasure sound more like some fairy's harp. I only repeat what was told to me by Nadi, the man in Wallara Temple. Ah, that one. When I pressed him with my suspicion that the astral cadence was the cause of these conflicts, he was not surprised in the least. It makes no sense. I cannot believe that astral cadence is worth sacrificing the lives of Aht Urhgan's citizens. Could this trinket be the true treasure the Empire seeks to safeguard? Please. With our current meager information, we have nothing more than meaningless conjecture. We must delve further into this mystery. I beg your leave. Gasho, I would stay away from Salaheem's sentinels. You? Aren't you an employee of Salaheem's sentinels? Do not tell that Mithra of what you have heard here. So, how much have you learned? So, what have you learned about? So, the Empire, Walahara Temple, and Salim's, so we're gonna choose Walahara's Temple. Oh ho, so you knew this all as well. The sphere that floats in the center of the temple is called the Gordius. In the ancient past, when the Gordius was unraveled by the sage Walara, it is said she came to understand the fundamental principle of existence. The Empire. Oh ho, so you knew this as well. The Empire of Aht Urhgan is ruled by Nashmira II, the 16th Empress of the Majab dynasty. There are actually two capitals to help govern this immense nation, one in the east and one in the west. As you have probably guessed, the western capital of Zabi, also known as the imperial capital. And then Salaheem Sentinels. Oh, so I'm not the only one who has realized. That company is where I endured the worst insults of my entire life. And what have you learned about? So we're going to choose Ralph's secret. What is this? My secret? Explain yourself. I'm nothing more than a mercenary who has left the life of a temple knight behind him. You are really so a deadly Taratura, a musketeer leader, a Sandioran prince. So we're going to choose a Sandioran prince. Ralphal could never be that proud and defined. So Ralphal is really Prince Paget, Prince Tryon, or Prince Halber. And Prince Tryon. Foolishness, I Tryon could never be compared to that. You have me. Tryon 1 D'Orguel is undone. How could you have pierced my disguise? It must be your training as an adventurer. This goes beyond all patience. But now that you know my true identity, you shall pay the price for mocking the prince. I have a task for you. Deliver this letter to the Monolith Halver in Chateau d'Orgueil. I'll tell him it comes from the famous sage Ralphal. The future of Aht Urhgan, as well as the 4 nations of Altena, depends upon the safe delivery of his letter. You and no other will be personally responsible for its arrival. Fell in this, and you shall never set foot on my nation's soil again. And so now we have his key item, which is going to be temporary Ralph's letter. Examine Ralph's letter. A letter you agreed to deliver for Ralph the Sage, or was it mercenary? You can barely make out the words Chateau de or will on the envelope. Okay, and so after all that is done, we are completed. We just completed Aht Urhgan Mission 4. So next mission is going to be Confessions of Royalty, and so we're going to jump into that one. Aht Urhgan Mission 5. So Confessions of Royalty series, Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC Ralphal. Title none. Repeatable no. Description. So deliver Ralphal's letter to Halver in Chateau d'Orgueil. And the previous mission was Night of Gold. And next mission is Westerly Winds. Our rewards will be none. So our walkthrough. So enter Chateau d'Orgueil and speak to Halver I9. And that is what we are going to do right now. So we will go to Sandioria and I just gotta make, sorry, I'm double checking. All right. Like it's annoying when I forget to put the walkthrough that I'm, the walkthrough part that I'm reading up, but it's really annoying if I leave the walkthrough. If I leave the walkthrough up and it started a cutscene, and then you guys get a look at the walkthrough. So I'm trying, I'm double checking and triple checking to make sure that's not the case. So we want to go to Sandioria, and I think it might be northern. Yeah, it's northern. So northern Sandioria, and should be home point 2. And then we are just going to walk up the bridge this way. And we're going to find Halber, which is right here. You just gotta wait for it to finally zone in. Okay, and there's Halber. So we're going to talk to Halber. Halber, wandering, as you are likely aware, all matters concerning the royal family pass through me. Show him Ralifal's letter. Of course, not a chance. So we'll choose of course. What have we here? A letter with writing so terrible I can't even read that I am the intended recipient. This carrion worm straw. I have seen its like before. The person who entrusted you with this message, the Lord of Illegibility, as I would call him. I am certain this letter is from the heir to the throne of Sandioria, the Prince Royal Tryon on the will. I don't know if it's a 1 or an I, so we'll just stay 1. I am mistaken, you say. This letter was written by one Sage Fall, but this chocobo scratch could only be the work of Prince Tryon. I shall prove it to you. I have long attended to the prince and encountered many opportunities to decipher his unique style of writing. A moment, if you will. Astral Condis, Astral Wan, this truly is atrocious. I have no doubt this letter is from Prince Tryon, but I am afraid I cannot make out the meaning. Monarlius Halber, you look troubled. Perhaps I may be of assistance. Oh, that was Rahal. Halber. General Rahal, your offer of aid is most generous. However, no need to be so humble. You have one of Tryon's indecipherable letters, do you not? How could you know? I have my sources. Some days ago, Prince Tryon abandoned the signing of some official documents. He placed a mannequin in his chair and fled the chateau in the dead of night. At least it was not a forced hair this time. This is when I had Travali here shadow the prince's movements. He has had training in the arts of the ninja. Please continue the tale, Trevicle. Sir, Prince Tryon first made his way to Mura and passed himself off as an adventurer. Dear Altena, a member of the royal family traipsing about as an adventurer. The court will be mortified. From there, His Highness boarded a ferry bound for the shores of Aht Urhgan, and then I quickly slipped aboard as well and guarded the royal person from the shadows. The ferry safely arrived in Alzabi, with the prince none the wiser of my presence. After entering the city, Prince Tryon headed straight to the mercenary company and apparently signed some sort of contract. A contract? Surely not with his own name. This could escalate into an international crisis. There's nothing to fear on that count. His Highness travels the Empire under the assumed name of Ralifal, so no one in Alzabi is aware of his true identity. I wouldn't say that, my lord. The prince is wearing a suit of gilded gold plate and is not subtle in his information gathering. Good, great goodness. Then he is not disguised at all. No, my lord. Come to think of it, I have seen this adventurer's face in the very same mercenary company. This letter must be the very same document I witnessed in the prince's hand at the Shararati house. I am wounded that Prince Tryon does not have more trust in us, his loyal subjects, and I do wish he would act with a little more discretion. That is a matter we shall discuss soon. First, we must learn the reason for Prince Tryon's seemingly frequent trips to the nation of Aht Urhgan. What is the current state of the Near East? Is the prince in any danger? Do not be concerned. I am sure that Travis has learned much from following the prince. Please enlighten us. Sir, Ralifal Prince Tryon investigated the following facts. 4 years ago, Jazan, the former emperor of Aht Urhgan, and his wife both succumbed to the same illness. Yes, I remember. The kingdom of Sandioria sent her condolences. The illness was quite virulent, as I recall. The beastmen who dwell on the western borders of the nation used this as an opportunity to seize offering tributes. What more would you expect from those savages? Though the Empire's long war with the eastern nations was at a stalemate, they could not afford to grow complacent. The main body of the Imperial Army remained focused on the east. Meanwhile, the beastmen of the Mamaljo savage lands and Halbang territory unfurled a banner of rebellion on the abandoned western front. It was not long before they were joined by an army known as the Undead Swarm. The military might of Sandioria is fully occupied with the Orcish horde alone. If it were 3 separate armies, even a mighty nation like Aht Urhgan must flounder. Of a certain, sir, the capital itself has recently been the target of beastmen invasions. Aht Urhgan now finds herself without the resources to even repair the walls of Al-Zabi. No matter how impressive a swordsman Prince Tryon is, we cannot allow him to remain in such a dangerous place. I must take this matter up with those responsible for protecting the royal household. Bring me General Kurilla. General Kurilla, it appears a member of the Royal Knights has managed to track down the location of our wayward prince. And where, pray tell, would that be? The Empire of Aht Urhgan. Aht Urhgan? The nation recruiting mercenaries? Yes. Then it stands to reason that the Temple Knights should stand little chance of finding the prince. I seem to recall ordering you to take measures that would prevent this sort of thing from happening again. Am I mistaken? No, Monolith Howler. I have been derelict in my duties. It is good that you recognize your failings, but you shall be made to take responsibility for this situation. Yes, my lord. Forgive my directness, Monarlace Halver, but I feel I must ask. Why would Prince Tryon travel to such a distant land? Does he feel so strongly about the Empire? Prince Tryon visited Al-Zabi once before when the Emperor was yet hale and healthy. The incident that occurred is most likely connected to all this. However, now is not the time to be telling tales of the past. This matter has grown beyond the realm of our judgment. We must bring this letter to Prince Page immediately. Prince Page, what is all this commotion? How like Tryon to rush off without so much as a word. He has earned a reputation for action before thought. Your Highness, this is the letter we believe to have been penned by your brother. Travel Clue may have provided enough keys to unlock this rambling script. This may require some time. There's no need to convene a meeting on linguists, however. Let me see this letter. This time, my brother's actions may have been a positive side. He writes on the current state of the Empire. We must turn our attention to the Near East, where a battle on the scale of the Crystal War is brewing. What on Vanadil is happening over there? There is an overwhelming reason for the Beastmen attacks on Al-Zabi. I will read to you what my brother has written, word for word. At the center of this conflict is a treasure known as the Astral Cadences. This object emits an enchanting melody unheard by mortal ears. The melody envelops and fills those nearby with the boundless energy be they person or beastman. The citizens of Al-Zabi call this melody the Astral Wind. I believe I have come to understand Prince Tryon's apprehensions. You are not alone in that feeling. Then we are in agreement. However, have your messengers sent to the other nations immediately. We must convene an emergency meeting of the nations. Understood, Your Highness. And the location? The location, send a request to Ueno to secure a meeting room in the Grand Duke Palace at once. Prince Peju, what shall be done about Prince Trion's frequent excursions outside of the kingdom? I do not wish to be rude, but we are well aware of how the prince reacts to attempts to dissuade him from his course. That is true. Having the heir to the throne playing at being a mercenary will not improve Sandioria's image in the eyes of the world. But the solution is simple. I shall write my brother a letter. A letter, Your Highness? Yes, I have an idea, but I shall need a volunteer to deliver it safely to Al-Zabi. I suggest travel. He is well versed in the geography of the region. Excellent, let it be done. I will not fail you, Your Highness. Your Highness, this is wandering. She brought Prince Trion's letter back from the Near East. Is that so? I do not approve of my brother's rash actions, but he does have an eye for trustworthy messengers. Wandering, I am sure you are exhausted from your long journey, but your presence will be required at the meeting in Ueno. We may have need of your testimony. Wandering, arrangements for the meeting will be made in all haste. Make your way to Ueno as soon as your preparations are complete. I never thought the situation to be this grave. Alright, so that completes our Aht Urhgan Mission 5. Okay, so we will go on to Aht Urhgan episode or mission 6. So the one we just finished is Aht Urhgan Mission 5, Confessions of Royalty, and our next mission will be Westerly Winds. So we'll click on that, and this is going to be Aht Urhgan Mission 6, Westerly Winds series, Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC, Halber, Chateau de Orgueil, I9. Title is none. Repeatable, no. Description: an international summit is to be held in Ueno. You have been called upon to speak of what you have witnessed in the Empire of Aht Urhgan. So previous mission was Confessions of Royalty, and the next mission is going to be Westerly Winds. Our rewards are going to be Imperial Bronze Piece by 10. So this is our walkthrough. No, you must wait 1 Earth minute after completing the previous quest to begin this quest. So approach the palace in Relude Gardens for a cutscene. Choose any of the answers to the questions to complete the quest. Choosing yes followed by that's what I'm here for will reward you with 10 Imperial Bronze pieces. So that is going to be our next task, and so we just need to go to Relude Gardens. And so again, remember when you're here, you want to talk to Fari, and he will give you a way out. So we want to go to Wayno and Relude Gardens, home point 1. All right. So now we go. I'm not certain, but okay, we get the cutscene here. Beijing, you have gathered here today at the request of the Kingdom of Sandioria. I thank you on behalf of the King. This is the first time in history that an emergency summit of this nature has taken place. The issue I lay before you is beyond the scope of a single nation. Wolfgang, Prince Paget, the adventurer you have permitted to attend the summit has arrived. Thank you for coming, Wandering. Allow me to begin by explaining the events that have led to today's meeting. It began when Wandering, mercenary, and adventurer arrived at the gate of the Chateau d'Urhgan bearing a letter of extreme importance. The contents of that letter prompted me to call the nations together. It was penned by a sage known as Raoul Lefall and described in painstaking detail the current state of Aht Urhgan. The Empire, that's vulgar. This is the same nation that has the port in a frenzy over mercenary recruitment. The very same. I speak of the Near Eastern nation, the Empire of Aht Urhgan. Aht Urhgan is now under pressure from the separate beastmen armies, and Alzabi, the mighty capital itself, is in danger of falling. Wolfgang, Great Altena, the Silent Empire. It was once called that. You may have been too young to know this, Your Highness, but the rest of us should remember. Chantoto. I am aware of the term. In the time of the Great War, the Empire possessed an army greater than the combined forces of the allied nations. Yet, not a single soldier was sent in response to calls for aid. My apologies, you're well versed in history. But knowing this, you should also know that we have no obligation to lift even a finger for Aht Urhgan, no matter how serious her predicament. Chantoto, Why, Volker, you always so calm and cool. You've grown hot and bothered, and your speech is most cruel. You should understand, Dr. Shantoto. You were there on that battlefield. Who knows how much suffering could have been avoided if we had the help of the Empire. On the contrary, my dear musketeer, we owe them more than you can imagine, I fear. What do you mean? Aht Urhgan has taken many countries under her yoke. A ferocious nation that has even bared fangs at the far eastern folk. Calling the Empire to help in our cause would be like freeing us from demons in return for dragon jaws. That may be true, but even the close relationship Aht Urhgan had with Tabnasia. That subject is not the issue here, I know. Dr. Shantoto, why did Windurst open Mura's port to the Empire? My nation's actions are none of your concern. At least we have a backbone. When will Bastok learn? You go too far, Dr. Shantoto. Enough. I did not call you here to speak of possible troop contributions. Then why are we here, Your Highness? Our main concern is the treasure thought to be at the center of this conflict, the astral cadencens. Astral cadencens? It is described as some manner of musical instrument, but apparently is much more than that. This instrument is said to produce a phenomenon known as the astral wind, a breeze that blows from an unidentifiable source. It creates a melody in a timbre unheard by mortal ears. I'm confused. How can there be a melody if nothing can be heard? Astral wind. This is all very unusual, but I'm sure we've all seen stranger things before. An unidentifiable source. In Winders, there is no shortage of magical gadgets. Pens that write by themselves, brooms that sweep on command, a breeze. I mean, they even have that Cardian band that's similar, don't you think, Dr. Shantoto? Astral Wind. Dr. Shantoto, is everything all right? Oh ho 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 ho. If it's automatic instrument you need, our children make such things before they learn how to read. The problem lies in the power of the wind. The wind, it envelops those close by and fills them with a mysterious strength. There are few who can resist the lure of this energy, even among the beastmen. If the instrument is that dangerous, why not just give it to the beastmen or smash it out of hand? That is what common sense would tell us. If it were up to an individual or even an entire town, what are you trying to say? What if that decision lay in the hands of the nation? Even if posed a threat, even if it posed a threat to your own citizens, if that treasure could one day be your salvation, would you not choose to protect it? How could a mere instrument hold that kind of power? The sage who composed this letter is afraid. Afraid that this astral cadencence will one day be the catalyst or a conflict to rival the Crystal War. No, Prince Peju, as a representative for an entire nation, you would do well not to throw those words around so lightly. My apologies. This is merely based on the conjecture of a sage. Why don't we have Wandering, who has seen and heard these things in person, give us her account? We cannot make a decision based on this tale alone. A nation has a responsibility to maintain soldiers and weaponry for the defense of its people. And for a city in this situation, I would go so far as to say that some sort of secret weapon is almost a necessity. In any case, it doesn't seem that this astral cadence presents any immediate danger to the people of Azavi. I wouldn't say that was entirely true if you were me and I were you. Wandering, I came to a conclusion after you left the chateau. I wish to hear your honest opinion. So give Paget your honest opinion, yes or no. So yes. Excellent. I knew asking you here was the right decision. I rely upon your vast experience as an adventurer. What is the astral cadence? If it is such an important treasure, then why not secret it away inside the palace instead of placing it in the area most vulnerable to beastmen attacks? I sense some hidden purpose for this dangerous object. Do you have any thoughts on the matter, Wandering? Any thoughts? Sage, Walahara, the Gordius, or the Walahara philosophy? Not really. We're gonna go with the Walahara philosophy. The Walahara philosophy. What manner of learning is this? What connection does this philosophy have to the astral cadences? From the void all things are born, to the void all things return. I do not understand what this void they speak of refers to. Though this philosophy is not so far from our own belief that all life begins and ends with great Altena and the mother crystals. Oh ho ho, too much time in this cathedral for Destin's little boy. The mind is a tool you must sharpen, not a child's toy. You mock me, Dr. Toto? You look for your answers in all the wrong places. Shall I bring a little hope to your long, dreary faces? What are you hiding, Shantoto? The servant of Walahara control the Hall of Binding, the treasure's little nest. The Hall of Binding is defended by the Serpents generals, the best of the best. The Serpent generals, a name I have heard. Each one is said to be worth 1,000 soldiers. The astral cadence is strictly mentioned by the Walahara temple according to the adventurer's speech, but the treasure is kept in an area that the beastmen can easily reach. And if there we find the Serpent generals, the strongest of the strong, plus mercenaries like Wandering to help them, if I'm not wrong. Yes, there does seem to be some contradiction to be found here. You see, this is a huge game of set the trap and wait, and the astral cadence is the very tasty bait. Of course, why didn't I see it? But wait, This creates a whole new set of questions. Why would they want the beastmen in the city? There are some things that even I cannot divine. It's time to sit back and wait for a sign. But it doesn't seem that this problem lies at the center of some grand plan. Without concern for the people of Al-Zabi, we need more information. Yes, an individual of keen wits and sharp senses. My lord, I have a suggestion. Wandering is employed as a mercenary in the Empire. However, she is a distinguished adventurer who will not sell her principles for a bag of gil. I point to the safe delivery of the sage's letter as proof of her dedication. A long journey without promise of reward. And I'm sure that all of you present have had numerous beneficial dealings with adventurers. They have earned our trust and respect. That is why I put forth the motion that we have Wandering return to the Empire and fight as a mercenary. We cannot allow any more blood to be spilled by beastmen, even should that blood belong to another nation's people. And if Wandering can improve her standing through enough to bring her closer to the Imperial Palace, we may learn the ultimate goal of the Empire. You'll find no argument here. Adventurers have been the quiet heroes in many of Bastok's darker moments. An idea that creates less work for us will not find me making a needless fuss. How does the Duchy of Weno stand on this? In agreement. The linking of our auction house services has strengthened the ties between Weno and the Empire, but economical matters are superseded by politics. All in favor? One moment. As Ralafel warned, this problem is not likely to remain constrained within the borders of the Near East. All the lands of Vanadil, including our four nations, Urhgan is the word for world in the language of Aht Urhgan, and this lurking threat could plunge it entirely into chaos. We lay this mission before you, Wandering. Will you consent to take up this burden? And so, take up this burden. That's what I'm here for. What am I, a donkey? So that's what I'm here for. You have our thanks, Wandering. Naturally, we'll do all in our power to aid you in this task. It is a trifling amount, but perhaps you might use this Aht Urhgan coin on your travels. The treasure is more than simple bait. An astral relic can and will seal your fate. The Empress goes too far in her game. I'm curious to see how it turns out all the same. And so that finishes Aht Urhgan Mission 6. So Aht Urhgan Mission 6 is what we just finished. Just a sec. Okay, so we will go ahead and go on to the next mission. So this is going to be, well, the one we just finished is Aht Urhgan Mission 6, Easterly Winds. And our next mission will be Westerly Winds. So Aht Urhgan Mission 7, Westerly Winds. series Treasure of Aht Urhgan, starting in PC. Aht Urhgan Whitegate K-11. Title will be none. Repeatable? No. Description: you have been assigned the task of infiltrating the inner political circle of the Empire as an agent of the Allied forces. Report to Ralph. So the previous mission was Easterly Winds, and the next mission is going to be a Mercenary Life. Rewards: so Raphael's note and 2 Imperial Silver piece by 2. So our walkthrough. Head to the Sheratot Tea House K11 for a cutscene. You will obtain Raphael's note. The choices have no effect on the mission. Choose whatever answer you like best. Then speak to Naja Salaheem I-10 for a cutscene. And Naja sometimes will ask players for imp wing. If she does, bring one to her to continue. Alright, so we are going back to the White Gate. And we will continue this little journey. So let us see. White. And we need to go to the tea house. So greetings. You are wandering in an adventure from Western lands, yes? And a registered mercenary of Salaheem Sentinels. Ah, so this is Geshu. Ah, I must introduce myself. My name is Gesho. And I have also arrived from the Western continent. I am a Yugudo. Do not be alarmed. I am merely a wandering monk who seems to find a master in this foreign nation. Just like you, I have entered the service of one Naha Salaheem. I apologize for this sudden intrusion, but are you acquainted with the mercenary known as Ralph? Ho ho, you plead in ignorance. Would you know him if I described his golden armor? Do you know him? Oh, that guy. I was just looking for him. Oh, that guy. In any case, I have something from him to give to you. The Empire of Aht Urhgan and the nations of the Far East have been at war for decades. That is a long time to be fighting. Such a conflict would drain the resources of both sides and put considerable strain on the citizenry. They are indeed suffering, particularly in the Far East. This war has exacerbated several other serious matters. The same must be said of Aht Urhgan. Despite the size and strength of their army, they must still be they must still look to foreign shores for mercenary reinforcement for the defense of the capital. The armies of both nations have met on the field of battle numerous times, building trenches and fortifications to stall the advance of the enemy. Now, the front line can move neither forwards nor backwards. Trench warfare. If I were the Empress, I would want a weapon of great destructive force or some sort of magic, or even send spies to the enemy cities or main travel routes to destroy their supply lines. Both sides have those options, of course. Why do you grow silent? Have I said something untoward? No, it is it just is sometimes hard to believe you are a simple mercenary when such talk of strategy escapes your lips. Ah, you are right. I must be more careful. And I am not the only one, it seems. You are rather well versed in the Far Eastern predicament, considering you are meant to be a Mindarshan Yugudo. Nay, I merely repeat what I have heard. We should be focusing on, Gesho, what is wrong? A skulker in the shadows. Show yourself. Travels. You know this man? Hmm. AJ, what has he told Gorilla? No, Oliver was the one who created Altena. Is something wrong? Gasho, I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I must return to Sandioria. It sounds serious. Has something befallen your homeland? What has that to do with the likes of you? My apologies, I have overstepped my boundaries. No, I had no cause to berate you so. This man is a knight of Sandioria. My name is Travicles. I don't have a clue how you say his name. Please forgive my intrusion. You move like one trained in the far eastern art of the ninja. You have a you have a keen eye. Travels will stay here for a time. Please contact him if you have need of me. Understood. Although we stand on different sides of the wall, we are both patriots. I am certain we shall meet again. Let us continue our conversation anon. Yes, I would like that. Farewell, Ralph. You must not keep your countrymen waiting. I am in your debt. Farewell, Gesho. And so he left for his homeland. I imagine he would be docking in Mura about this time. That one holds himself like a knight, like a king. Before I forget, I have something for you from Travels. Very well, Wandering. I take my leave of you here. If our president should discover us loitering in the street, it will mean our heads. Of the four nations of Altena have gathered in Wano for an emergency summit. And you are certain one of the mercenaries was seen there? Yes, your magnificence. You have served us well. You may go. Dismissed. Sir. We were right to keep her occupied. They have taken the bait, just as we expected. Grand Vizier. Do not underestimate these adventurers. We must proceed with the next part of the plan. So now we have Raphael's note. So the items temporary. Examine Raphael's note. You can barely make out the words, I return to my homeland. And then we got a silver piece. And then I do want to check something really quick. I don't know. Okay. So we'll have to check that back later. Now we want to go to talk to Naja. Hello, Wandering. What happened to our puffed up over pretty night boy? Don't tell me you came back here without him. What? I really hope my ears are deceiving me. Tell me that again. Ravlefall went home. Are you telling me that blockheaded knight took off without so much as a by your leave, Miss President? He's got a lot of nerve to test the patience of Salaheem. And don't think you're off the hook either. Why didn't you go after him? Surely you didn't think that a mercenary was free to do as she pleases, did you? And you didn't go leaving Al-Zabi, ignoring the fact that you were on one of my errands, did you? Both you and Ralphal have signed a binding contract with me, or had you forgotten? You belong to me. Forever, always, until death, you mercenaries are my pawns. If you hand the free time to the gallivanting to foreign countries, then if you had the free time to be gallivanting to foreigner countries, then you should have been signing up for a bunch of missions. You should have been contributing to the success of this company. That's what's known as a team player. It's not too late for you. Chase him to the end of the world if you have to, but track down that Raoul Fall. You know what? Maybe I'll just let him go. I've had enough of his belly aching to last a lifetime anyway. Come to think of it, didn't he say he was from the Middlelands? He seemed so intent on sticking around here. I wonder why he chose to pack up and leave all of a sudden. Oh well, at least he's out of my hair. That's a load off my mind. Maybe you are a dose of good luck wandering. Here's an extra bonus for you. Go on, take it. I'm glad you decided to walk in my door. It's okay, you can tear up a little. Take that feeling and burn it deep into your heart. I'll be using your gratitude as an example in the next recruiting drive. And so that completes our mission of Aht Urhgan Mission 7. Okay, so if we so Aht Urhgan Mission 7, Westerly Winds is what we just completed. So our next mission is a Mercenary Life. Aht Urhgan Mission 8, a Mercenary Life series, Treasures of Aht Urhgan. Starting NPC, Naja Salaheem. Aht Urhgan Whitegate I-10. Title is going to be none. Repeatable, no. Description: President Naha is all fired up and eager to see you complete as many missions as you can. So previous mission is Westerly Winds. Next mission, Undersea Scouting. And our rewards will be none. Okay. Walkthrough. Zone and return to Salaheem's Sentinels I-10 for a cutscene. So that's all we do for this one. So if you try to talk to her without zoning, you won't get anything. So you do have to zone out if the walkthrough is telling you to zone out. So what we want to do is, and like I say, it is rather a pain, but and of course these missions are, you can see that they're all pretty much tied in a line and pretty much self-explanatory, but I mean the walkthrough is very useful in my opinion, just so we can see what we need to do, and then we can go do it. So we're gonna go to our mod house because for some reason it does count as an actual zone out, and so that's the way that's, in my opinion, that's the quickest way to do this, or to zone out. Go to the mod house and come back. Like I said, I don't know, and it might work if you click on a if you are to click on a home point and, like, I mean, from what I'm saying is from here to here. If you were to go to this home point to this home point, I don't know if it would count as a zone out. It might, and it might not. If you, of course, if you go from here to like Bastock and back again, then it counts. But so it might count as a zone out if you are just porting from one part of the city to the other, but I don't know for sure. I just know the mod house works, so we'll use it. And then we want to, after we've zoned, we want to come back and we want to now I'll just put this here and that over there. This will make Salaheem's Sentinels the most attractive mercenary company in all of Aht Urhgan. Now let's see here. Thanks to President Naja, I learned the true meaning of bravery. Dum dee dum. Oh, and this one. Thanks to President Naha, I experienced my first taste of victory. Dum dee dum. What else do we have? Thanks to President Naha, I learned the true meaning of fear. Well, just change that to fortune. Dum dee dum. Ha ha ha. That about does it for the Sentinel's voice. I do love making these company pamphlets. Now, if only these slack-jawed mercenaries could finish some decent missions, I could start ranking in some respectable profit. Makes me wonder why this request came our way. Well now, isn't this a coincidence? I was just about to send someone out to drag in your scruffy hide. As you might know, our company is well respected throughout the empire. The proof lies in this here gold-trimmed envelope. That's why we need to have a little chat. There's a mercenary commission inside, but first, let's talk rewards. Unlike the pittance you've been receiving so far, this one will be extravagant, without a doubt. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. This envelope was sent by the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute. This request likely originated from the Empress herself. Don't tell me you never heard of the AARI. They've been conducting investigations with the ruins of Al-Sadal. So never heard of Runes of Azaldel and AAR. So I'm a bit shaky on the details, but aside from the old dome remnants in the Ottawa subterrane, there's another sprawling set of ruins not that far from here. That site is called the Ruins of Alzadal. If you travel to the northwest of Baffaloo Thickets until you can see the waters of the Sean Deep, you'll find the tunnel entrance. Until recently, the Empire had forbidden entry to the ruins, a rule enforced by the Immortal Station at the entrance. But now, with investigations completed in that section, the undersea ruins have been opened to the public. That means that even nobodies like you can feast your peepers on the remains of an ancient civilization for the small fee of 1 imperial silver piece. Supposedly, this fee goes directly towards funding for the AARI, but who knows where all the loot is really going. AARI. What do you think when someone mentions the alchemist of the Imperial Palace? For myself, I always imagine a guy wearing an apron covered in chemical stains, performing the same experiments day after day after day. A tireless researcher type. The AARI is supposed to be full of people like that, but listen to me ramble on. Basically, all you have to know is that they're under the direct authority of the Empress. You see what I'm saying? We have the chance to make a small fortune and get on the good side of the Imperial government. Try not to mess it up. Oh, I suppose I better tell you about the request itself. They want me to send a mercenary to patrol the Alzadal undersea ruins. I hear that some unfriendly local creatures have been holding up the rest of the investigation. You've been showing some decent results lately, so I've chosen you for the job. This could be a big opportunity for fame and fortune, and this kind of work should be a walk in the park for a strapping mercenary like yourself. Failure is not an option. Alzadal Undersea Ruins. Are ya hard of hearing? Hop to it, soldier. Why would someone ask for wandering by name? Alrighty then. And then, we will go ahead and do 9. Yeah, so we're going to do 2 more missions, I believe. So, 2 more missions, I think, will be the setting stage of where, okay, so this is, the one we just finished, after this cutscene was Aht Urhgan Mission 8, a Mercenary Life. And our next mission will be Undersea Scouting. So we will check it out. Aht Urhgan Mission 9, Undersea Scouting series. So Treasure of Aht Urhgan, starting NPC, Naja Salaheem, Aht Urhgan Whitegate I-10. Title: None. Repeatable: No. Description: You have been requested to enter the Al-Zada undersea ruins from baffled thickets and patrol the interior. Previous mission: A Mercenary Life. The next mission: Astral Waves. Our rewards for this mission will be the Astral Compass. So our walkthrough. If you have not yet unlocked the runic portal at the Nazul Isle staging point, trade 1 Imperial Silver to Kamil Mapbokalum F6 located in Bafla Thickets. This optional trade Kamil Mapbokalhoma 3 Imperial Mithril pieces for a map of the Al-Zadar undersea ruins. This map is now purchasable via the magical map vendors, so you don't actually, now at this time, you don't have to pay the 3 things for it. You already have it if you bought all the maps. So approach the gilded doors at H8 for a cutscene. Unlock the runic portal at the Nazul Isle staging point before departing. So this is one of the most frequently used runic portals in Whitegate. Take the portal behind the gilded door and then the one on your left. You'll end up on the main map. Exit the room to the south and follow the path and east until the gilded doors. Once open, keep going east until you reach the gilded doors to the Nazul Isle staging point. So if you already have it unlocked, enter the chamber passage and take the runic portal to the Nazul Isle staging point. Take the southeastern transport device at H9 to get to the Baflu remnants. Take the right eastern transport device to get to the Azadal undersea ruins. The cutscene will start when you zone it. And so we don't have it already, so we're just going to follow this and try to get it, and we'll, by the end of this, we should have that staging point. So we will then have 2 of them. So we'll go back to our game. Again, this is going to be Aht Urhgan Mission 9. And we have been picking up some items. The Imperial coins go into your inventory like this. So we will go and we will try to find our way there. And then we will do so this mission, and then I believe we will do mission 10, and then we will then after we have completed mission 10, we will probably be done with this section for a while. It's there's a lot of cutscenes, so I mean it's easy to just probably get them done in a row rather than oh, remember this, remember that. So that's why we're doing these now, is because that way we have them in order. But I really like Naha or Naja, or how do you pronounce her name? And so we're going to run out. And we want to actually go out the Flu Thickets again, so we'll go this way. And then we will mount when it lets us. And then we need to go to so we need to go to F6. So map 6, and F6 is going to be here. So we need to walk all the way up. And right now we are a little bit low, so we definitely don't want to end up dismounting. Those elephants will kick our ass. So will these tigers. Well, maybe not. If you can fight one at a time, you should be able to take it. But the elephants, however, though, whatever they're called, they will kick your ass. That's for sure. The tigers, you probably can handle one at a time. So, F6. I know we'll run into the person. Oh, there she is. So, this is Kami Mapoka Hilum. So this tunnel leads to the Al-Zadal undersea ruins. Now that the investigation of the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute has drawn to a close, the ruins have been opened to the public. However, we cannot guarantee your safety. You would be wise to stay aware of your surroundings. The fee for entering the ruins comes to one imperial silver piece. If you need a map of the ruins, you can purchase one for 3 imperial mithril pieces. Okay, so we open trade with her, and we give her 1 imperial silver piece, and then okay. Very well, you may proceed. All right, so we have the map now, and in this area I believe that we will see enemies, but they're not aggressive and we can just walk by them. All right, so now we want to approach the gilded doors at H8 for a cutscene. So Ab Urabda. Wow, look at this place. Oh, what's that? Tell me everything. Hey now, this is an ancient ruin you have the privilege to be in. Try not to disturb the... This is my first time in an ancient ruin. It's so exciting. Poor old Tatia is stuck in the factory all by herself, but lucky me gets to go on a field trip with Mr. Gatsad. Gatsad. Well, I'm glad to see you're talking and you're taking an interest in this in the past. But if you keep up that ruckus, who knows what sort of unwanted attention you'll attract. Even with us here to protect you, some monster might snatch you away into the shadows. They've even employed mercenaries from Salaheem's sentinels to patrol the ruins for dangerous beasts. Many alchemists have fallen prey to the legions of foul creatures that stalk these halls. You know how on moonless nights you can hear the roar of the Seine Deep echoing through the darkness? That sound is really the wails of those lost alchemists as their spirits roam the ruins in despair. Rishvi. That's quite enough. The poor child is shaking in fear. Is that really true? Maybe you'll be the first to find out. You're lying. You're just being a big meanie weenie. Amnath, what do you see? Quiet. We're not alone. Oh, are you here all by yourself? If you want to see the ruins, you should come along with us. Ah, yes, your PSC Wildcat badge marks you plainly. I'm assuming this is your first visit to the ruins. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our little tour. Mr. Gadsad was about to tell us about the Al-Zadal civilization. These ruins have so many stories. So which part of the ruins do you want to ask about? The windows, the pillars, the floor. So we'll start at the windows. You wish to learn about the windows. Look at those fish swimming around in there. I wonder what would happen if the windows broke. Those fish are actually swimming in the waters of the sea and deep. We are currently on the bottom of the ocean looking out at them. Those windows are under an incredible amount of pressure from the weight of the water. If the windows were to break, I'm afraid we'd be crushed in an instant. What is the sparkling light all over the glass? I never seen anything like it. That is the glow of the plasm oil. Oh, isn't that the same oil we use in the automatons? That's correct. The windows of these runes are actually membranes of plasma oil that repel the waters of the sea like giant bubbles. You mean it just bounces off? You could put it that way, yes, but these barriers have been in place for hundreds of years. I highly doubt they'll give way anytime soon. A truly astonishing feat of technology. However, the only reason these membranes hold is due to constant supply of plasma oil. Someday the supply must run out, and when it does, are you trying to scare me too, Mr. Gadshead? I'm not sure I want to stay here much longer. The pillars. Ah, you've touched upon an interesting area, but it is not the shape of the pillars that is so fascinating. Any person with with a basic knowledge of archaeology would recognize the graceful conical base and frail looking central column. This design was often seen in the temples built during the reign of the Emperor Al-Zadal some 900 years ago. The fascinating thing about these pillars lies in the construction itself. There are markings that suggest a degree of rotation and elongation is possible. Why would they make a pillar like that? I wonder the same thing. I theorize that the archaeologists of this structure wanted to incorporate a level of flexibility to compensate for the change in water pressure. That's pretty clever. Should these technological marvels be understood in the near future, I hope to adapt their use to the field of automaton construction. Mr. Gatt said, I'm going to work real hard on my studies so I can help you. And then the floor. The floor, yes, it is really quite fascinating. Oh, I wanted to hear about that. The elegant mosaics on the floor are designed with several different varieties of stones. One might say that these designs are symbolic of the prosperity of the Al-Zadal dynasty. It's a shame we've lost so many of the arts of that age. What about the shining symbol on the floor over here? I'm sure I've seen this design somewhere before. Dum-de-dum-dee-dum. That is a transport device not unlike the runic portals currently employed by the Empire. The Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute has deemed these devices safe for use in their continuing investigations. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. So, they still work even after 900 years. Yes, a curious fact. The AARI has been diligent in its efforts to remove all traces of dust and grime as they work through the ruins, but have not attempted any maintenance. There simply hasn't been a need. It's as if these ruins have been frozen in time, not merely in appearance, but in all of its functions. I love mysteries. I bet the ruins were just waiting for us to rediscover them. You could be right, Abda Lurabda. I think that's enough for one day. Time to return to the workshop. What, already? We just got here. We can't have poor Tatia mind the place all by herself now, can we? I suppose not, but you'll bring me here again, right? I promise. Rishfi, would you mind escorting young Abda Lurabda back to Al Zabi? Aren't you coming with me? Not just yet. I have some things to discuss with this mercenary. Well, okay, see you later. I suppose you're wondering why I asked you to stay. As you can see, I am also an alchemist affiliated with the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute. I often have cause to visit the ruins in this manner. Have you figured out what the AARI's true purpose is here in the ruins? The conversation of culture heritage. The research of ancient civilization. These are merely facades. The truth of the matter is, our organization is under orders from the Empress to locate the missing astral cadences. Yes, the cadences held in Al Zabi is not the only one in existence. How much do you know about the astral cadences wandering? How much do you know? I am an expert. Not so much. Not so much. The astral cadences is a national treasure that is set upon the astral plinth within Al-Zabi's hall binding. Known as the Astral Wind, the infinite energy of the astral plane flows from the treasure, uplifting the Empire's citizens and granting them courage. It is the source of the Empire's prosperity. And yet the cadence is also the catalyst for unending conflict as the beastmen hurl themselves against our defenses time and again in an effort to claim it. We receive the blessings of the cadences at the price of peace. The astral cadences was originally brought into the city to halt the spread of the Bastokan blight in the empire. The emperor of the time hoped to ease the suffering of his people and his nation. But there is more than one cadence. There are few that are aware of this fact. Through the research of various ancient texts and relics, we have verified the existence of 4 other cadences. If we can but find these missing treasures, there may be a chance to end this futile conflict. That is the aim of the AARI. What do you say, Wandering? Will you aid us in our search? You wonder why I know your name. It is not so surprising. I was the one who sent the request to Salaheem's sentinels asking you to patrol the ruins. It seems like Immortal stationed at the staging points have taken a liking to you. Your name was at the top of the list of candidates. Wondering if you can find these missing cadences. Aht Urhgan know the entire Aragia continent may know the paradise of peace once again. So, Gadsand hands you an astral compass. That astral compass will lead you to a cadence. But be warned, this device is not set to respond to faint astral waves. The astral wind that blows from the cadences reaches far across the land, even as it weakens in intensity. Picking up these waves would help little in pinpointing a location, so you will only receive a response when you are close to the source. I'm sure you can see why our position as a mercenary with duties across the continent will prove invaluable. I ask that you carry the astral compass with you at all times. Ah, yes, the device has been constructed to ignore the emanations from the condensants in Al-Zabi. You have your mission. The future peace of Near East is riding on your success. One more thing, Wandering. Do not reveal my position as the chief of the AARI. We should not even acknowledge each other on the street. I have value I value my quiet existence in the automaton workshop. Amnaf. Amnaf. Tell the Grand Vizier that the bell has been set. Understood. So now we have obtained the key item, Astral Compass. I don't know if it's permanent or... Yeah, Astral Compass. Examine Astral Compass. A compass that detects powerful astral emanations and displays the location on a map. An improved version of the crystal compass created by the Imperial Alchemist Guild. Okay, and now we're going to try to find the staging point. So, that is our next part of this is unlock the runal portal at the Nizol staging point before departing. So take the portal behind the gilded doors and then the one on your left. So we want to take... Oh, we want to go back in here, I assume. And then we want to take the portal. Must be this one. So take this portal. Oops. It. So yes, use the device. And then the one on your left. So one on our left going to be here. Really? And yes. And so now we should be on the main map. Then exit the room to the south and follow the path east until the gilded doors. Once open, keep going east until you reach the gilded doors to the Nizol staging point. So, and then, so we just want to keep... We'll see if we do this right. We're just supposed to keep going this direction till we get to the gilded doors. And then, so we should reach some more gilded doors. I think. We'll find out if I do this right or not. Okay, so yeah. Now we're at the Nizal L staging point. And then all we do here is we find our runic. Now I'm not sure, there's two of them and I'm not sure. I think we just tuning yourself to this runic portal will open a path to the chamber. So we'll want to say yes. Wandering has attuned herself to the runic portal and opened a path to the from the Nazul Isle staging point to the chamber of passage. And that person is going to just be annoying. All right, so now we are back in. So now we have two staging points, and to complete this mission, we need to go back and talk to Naha. So, or Naja, or sorry, I don't have. I say both. All right, so we come back here, and Naha Salaheem. Oh, okay. The document on the dark beast bears the mark of the two-headed serpent. Ask Naja about the document. Sure, or probably a bad idea. So we're gonna say sure. You want to know what this document is all about? You really are stretching my patience. This document was sent by the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute, the same organization that requested your mercenary services. Why do you think they sent this? Why do you think? No idea or money? No idea. Don't play the innocent with me. So, money. Don't get funny with me, miss. Abiquaba. Yes, ma'am. Read out private second class wanderings mercenary attendance record. Since leaving to carry out the request from the Aht Urhgan Archaeological Research Institute private second class wandering, has not returned to report a single detail of her mission to President Nah. Huff, puff. That is all. Let's hear your explanation, Wandering. You say you went to the Undersea Ruins as requested. Are you telling me that you ignored company regulations and made a report to the palace before returning to your beloved president? So knowing the consequences, you acted independently and above your lowly station of mercenary pawn. What's the world coming to? If the palace finds out I can't even control my own employees, I have your reward from the AARI. Let's see how much is left out of your 255 imperial gold pieces when I deduct your fines. You better hope the reward covers your infractions. Grand Vizier Razfad, we have awaited your arrival. I have a message from Gatsad. The bell has been set on the mercenary. The adventurer from the Middle Lands. Yes, sir. I have good news. Our efforts regarding the cadences are proceeding according to plan. All the pieces are falling into place. Excellent. We have faith that you will not fail us. Your magnificence is too kind. However, we grow tired of waiting. My most humble apologies, Your Magnificence. I beseech your patience a little while longer. Our actions must not draw the attention of our citizens or our neighbors. We are aware of this. It is our wish to see the treasure in the hands of the emperors. Our wishes are the wishes of the empire. Do not lose sight of that. The age of judgment is at hand. Deal with any who threaten our progress. Sir, we cannot give free rein to these otherworldly fiends. Otherworldly fiends? Is he talking about ghosts? What else could it be? Wonderful. It appears our dreary days in the palace will soon be at an end. Uh-huh. Can't you show a little more enthusiasm? Huh? Oh yes, wonderful. Affirmate. Our main objective is to make them think the cadences are our primary concern. Ghosts are certainly more interesting than this endless speculation about the cadences. Grand Vizier, we wish to know more about these spirits returning to plague the living. The ghosts. I would not wish to trouble Her Magnificence with mere rumors. Be that as it may, you will tell us more. The Empress knows more than she pretends. and that's Nashmiria. Your Magnificence. In the recent years, the rumors concerning the appearance of spirits and a ghost ship menacing the waters of the sea and deep have become more and more frequent. The immortals believe many of these rumors to stem from the activities of the Lamia. Don't skip ahead back to the ghost ship. I guess. Ghost ship. It bears the name of a famous shipwreck known as the Ashu Caliph. Continue. Yes, Your Magnificence. While I must stress that these stories are merely the rumors of the townspeople, there has been a strange twist to the tale. It is said that the true name of this ghost ship is really the Black Coffin, a pirate ship of the lost kingdom of Ephraimad. A pirate ship? We believe these inflammatory rumors to be the work of the Seagull Ferratri, the descendants of the kingdom of Ephraimad. Those rebels have lost their ships and are barely avoiding our grasp. They conjure these heroes from the past to bolster their spirits. It is just go on. There are citizens of Ephraimad descent who are poised to join with the rebels. They say Luzaf has returned. Preposterous. Luzaf perished with his kingdom over 200 years ago. We would know the truth behind this ghost ship. Oh ho. Your Magnificence, we cannot mobilize Imperial troops on the basis of mere rumor. If you're unwilling to shoulder this task, Puppet Master, you will solve the mystery of this ghost ship? What? We accept this task. How can we refuse a direct request from the Empress? But, Your Magnificence, I do not think that this is no longer your concern. We shall recruit assistance from Salaheem's sentinels. Afmeu of Jing, we await word of your success. Yes, Your Magnificence. Come along, Afmeu. We'll wait. Grand Vizier. It is the will of the Empress. But do not let them out of your sight. So, putting off a direct order, 11 Imperial gold pieces. For ignoring company regulations, 7 Imperial gold pieces. For forgetting the company motto, 3 Imperial gold pieces. For concealing your actions, 6 Imperial gold pieces. For disrespecting your president, 9 Imperial gold pieces. For making me repeat myself, 15 Imperial gold pieces, which comes to a total of 255 Imperial gold pieces. Heh. You're lucky you didn't go into the red. But there's definitely something fishy going on here. It's mighty strange to have the reward arrive before you did. Might be worth looking into this. I don't like being manipulated, even if it is by the Empress herself. Time to remind the Empire that the Wildcat has claws. And, that is actually, let's see, so, let's go back to our walkthrough. I actually, so, the mission we had finished was, Aht Urhgan Mission 9, Undersea Scouting. And once you've done this, when you come back, you are you have already completed Aht Urhgan Mission 9, and so then you would want to go to the next mission right as soon as you come back, you know, into town, and you will go to next mission, Astral Waves, and so this is Aht Urhgan Mission 10, Astral Waves, series Treasure of Aht Urhgan, starting NPC, Naha Salaheem, Aht Urhgan Whitegate, I-10. Title is going to be none. Repeatable, none. Description: Gatsad has entrusted you with a device capable of detecting astral waves. Return to Salaheem's Sentinel and report your progress. And then, so a previous mission was Undersea Scouting, and our next mission is going to be Imperial Schemes, and our rewards for this is none. And our walkthrough: return to Naha Salaheem I-10 for a cutscene, and that is the one we just did. When we got back, I was meaning to open this, but we did it in reverse. We did the actual cutscene and then we did this part, so that's the way it's going to play out. And so that gets us all the way to Aht Urhgan Mission 10. That completes all the very first 10 missions of this series of missions, and we will continue at mission 11 on another you know, at another time. So we will go back to Bastock real quick so we can like, I wasn't actually intending to go that deep into the missions, but they all line up you know, really quick, and they're really simple to do, and they're just cutscenes pretty much all the way through. So I figured that would be a good way, a good time to get through some of them. We're going to go to the exit, and I have to I wish I could figure out what's wrong with my voice, well, with my throat, because it just keeps getting clogged, so that's no fun. But that is going to be the end of this episode. Like I say, there's a lot of cutscenes in that, and we just, you know, from Aht Urhgan 1 to 10, it's really all just solid cutscenes all the way through, and so it just that gives us, you know, plenty of the story that we got to see, and then there's a lot more still left to do in that. But so the next time we come back, we'll be at Aht Urhgan Mission number 11. That's where we will be starting. So I do hope you've enjoyed my playthrough so far. Again, I am wandering off, and we are playing on my tune Wandering. I do hope you've enjoyed my playthroughs, and we will see you in the next episode.